Welcome to Kit Katastrophe. My name is Kit, and today we'll be taking a look at Transformers Titans Return Voyager Class BLITZWING. This figure came out in 2017 as part of Wave 5 of the Voyager assortment. He is a repaint of Titans Return Megatron with a retooled Titan Master. As with every other Titans Return figure, we'll start with the Titan Master. BLITZWING's Titan Master is named Hazard, and he's a khaki and gray version of BLITZWING's robot mode with Megatron's helmet. The plastic colors chosen really help for the sculpted detail to pop out, meaning he doesn't look too terribly unpainted. However, I'd have preferred it if the eyes or face were given some color. He has standard Titan Master posability, with a ball-jointed neck and shoulders and pin joints at his hips and knees. Putting the Blitz in BLITZWING, BLITZWING turns into a tank of a fictitious model. It looks alright, but is obviously the weakest of the three modes. The treads look cobbled together, the wings are tacked on, and the main body just looks and feels unfinished. The underside is pretty uneven, so he can't roll much at all. As for play features, Hazard can sit in the turret and be protected by a clear plastic shield. The turret itself can spin as well. BLITZWING comes with a Titans Return chair gun that can peg into the top of his tank barrel, which Hazard can take a seat within. He also comes with a scimitar that can peg into either side of the front of the tank. Transformation into jet mode is actually pretty damn interesting. The way the tank treads fold up and swing around the body, taking the wings with them, is pretty dynamic, and not something I've seen on a BLITZWING before. Everything has a place to go, and overall the experience is satisfying. BLITZWING's jet mode fares a little better than his tank mode, but not by much. Overall, the silhouette of the mode is far more cohesive, but upon further inspection, things are still a bit messy. The tank treads do their best at compressing into the sides of the jet, but ultimately just hang off very unsightly. And, like pretty much every BLITZWING released so far, his tank turret just hangs under the jet. It's pretty sloppy, but at least it pegs in solidly. I do like the three wheels sculpted into it, it's a nice touch. In this mode, Hazard can sit inside the cockpit of the jet, which closes on him like a giant mouth. There's a new weapons port in this mode located under the nose cone. It looks really dumb in all the right ways. Transformation into robot mode is basically transformation back into tank mode, just a little bit more involved. The same dynamic around the torso tread and wing flip still occurs, and the treads pull out all the stops to form a mostly cohesive set of arms. The legs also fold out really cleanly. It's worth noting that folding the legs out is far easier than folding them back in. Jamming Hazard into the neck socket, you've got yourself the mighty BLITZWING. Robot mode is easily the strongest of his three modes, although it does have its own setbacks. The proportions of this guy are simply amazing. He's big, he's powerful, he's imposing. The arms, legs, and torso are all really strongly proportioned. I really love the wings making up his backpack, but the turret just feels a little too highly placed. The head sculpt is to die for. It is right proper BLITZWING, but the paintwork is a little ham-handed and sloppy. The red of his visor is splotched over his nose, and the purple on his face is applied too thick. He does feature optional side-of-the-head pylons activated by a switch under the chest plate. They can turn with his head, albeit very stiffly. I don't really like these since they inhibit movement a ton. Speaking of options, you can choose to have a more G1-inspired lowered leg design by folding away his actual feet and flipping down the rear wings. It lowers stability, but options are nice, I guess. BLITZWING can wield his cannon and scimitar in this mode by his hands, or he can arm mount them. Personally, I like to display him with his gun in his hand and his blade on his arm. It looks the most dynamic and fits best on a crowded shelf. For other options, you can place the cannon in one of two ports located on his shoulders. It's alright. Also, his tank barrel can be pulled off the turret and placed on the cannon as a barrel extension. I didn't actually find out about this until I started writing the script. I can't say I'm a fan, especially when it neuters the turret. Posability is decent, but nothing to write home about. He's got all the standard joints of articulation, and he's not really missing anything besides a waist joint. Due to the nature of his transformation and construction, I can forgive this. I just wish he had some ankle tilts to be more stable in more dynamic poses. As he is, though, I can't complain. BLITZWING's not exactly a gymnast, so he can assume most poses his character would assume. Honestly, despite his problems in all three modes, I enjoy BLITZWING a bit more than Astrotrain. With Astrotrain, it felt like the most milquetoast, no-risk figure we could have possibly gotten, besides the risk of making him a headmaster. Whereas with BLITZWING, Hashtag did their best to provide a fun, dynamic figure that did its job in all three modes and wasn't a hot mess like the Thrilling 30 figure a few years prior. And BLITZWING succeeds in that. However, I can't say he was the best of the three Titans Return Decepticon triple changers. Stay tuned until next time to find out my thoughts on my real favorite. This has been Kit Katastrophe. It's time for me to transform and roll out.